I'd like to welcome everyone back. Let me get my trusty thing. So in case you guys want to make a comment. Watch, you're going to start talking. You shouldn't. So you guys want to make a comment, more than welcome to make a comment and talk to us about our topic.
Feel free to share this.
Share everywhere.
Like, subscribe, YouTube.
Yeah. You know, everyone's so professional on YouTube that does that. You know, make sure you like
And we're like,
hit the bell.
oh yeah, don't forget to.
I always can't remember that. And that could just show you of what generation I'm in.
Right.
So, just for everyone to know, today we decided to do the Star Wars, the fourth episode, which is, if you are like everyone else, it's the first one, 1977, 78, when it came out. I don't remember my dad taking me, but my dad told me he took me because I was...
Very memorable.
Yeah, no, I was young, you know.
Uh-huh.
I was born in 76. I mean, can we give you a break? So
when did it come out?
I just said 77, 78. You know, it's hard enough to get them to listen. Getting you to listen is the tricky part. Oh, the boss says she shared. Thank you, boss.
Thank you.
So if anyone really knows about us at all, because this is our 16th, 17th, something like that.
Yeah, 16.
You have not seen these movies at all.
I have not.
And because there's so many things to these Star Wars, like the whole world of Star Wars have gotten so big compared to what it used to be. I didn't even make you watch these. So this is going to be me trying to explain how amazing Star Wars is for me and hopefully for the other people that are watching this also, because, I don't know, Star Wars was everything to me when I was little.
I just want to share something before you.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So
Okay.
he told me to listen or read up about it,
Right.
so that way I have like some idea. Well, I start reading. Well, actually, I had my friend start reading it to me because I'm driving, and there are so many characters. How do you keep them straight? How do you know like I can't even watch a show with knowing who people are.
Well, for me, Star Wars is amazing because it starts off when I kind of start off this and explain it to you. I kind of want to take you for the ride.
Okay.
That's my goal, and try to introduce each person as they come. I know someone out there is going to end up telling me I've done it wrong or I forgot somebody, but I was trying to hit all the big guys. I mean, there's always tons of people, and there's always people kind of going in and out, or you know, like the drive-bys. You know, I believe that's in every story. But
Yeah.
I'm going to say this 100 times again. If you love Star Wars as such as I did when I was a kid, please write. Please argue points with me. Bring out points I didn't say, because same thing with YouTubers. You want to correct me. Listen, I'm not perfect, but I want to just say one thing real quick here. I'm going to say a solid until the next movie came out, which was Empire Strikes Back. Every friggin' Sunday when I was a kid. You know how like little kids watch Disney?
Yep.
I watched this movie. My dad...
Really?
On Sundays, my dad would make breakfast for us because my dad worked 6 days a week.
Yeah.
This is the only time I got to see him, and every Sunday he would never complain watching this movie with me.
Really?
Even though I would think he would want to shoot himself after watching Star Wars.
Frozen.
Like Frozen. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
well, we all do it. I watched Rapunzel 100 times with my daughter. Like, me and Rapunzel were like one. Because
I love that movie.
I feel like I could say it 100 times over because of her. Okay, so here's the thing. I have all the movies, but I was being lazy and I decided to watch it on Disney Plus. So I already want to say that I was really sad because somewhere in the 2000s or so, they remade all of them. And when I say remade, they added CGI parts to it. So I watched that one. I didn't watch the original 1977 Star Wars. So there are some things that I noticed, like, wait a minute, they didn't do that. They didn't have CGI back then. How do they do this? Or how do they do that? So like right away I was like, oh, I don't want to watch. I was really like, oh, I don't want to watch this one.
Yeah.
And I know some kids probably started off with that one, you know. But
I'm sure all kids nowadays watch that one.
Right.
Unless like their parents
Right.
had.
Right. When I was a
DVD or
kid,
whatever.
there was none of that. That was
especially with it being Disney Plus and stuff.
right. I was a huge fan. So, and I was kind of upset that they didn't tell you, it's the remastered one. They just, this is it.
Yeah.
That was the only one I could pick from. All right, so, okay, first of all, Star Wars always starts off with the words going up.
I know that part.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on.
I think everyone knows that.
I watched parts of it because of band. We had a movie night every year for hi Kiki.
Hi
was I
Kiki.
saying?
Go ahead.
What was I saying?
You were talking about like
so every year for band camp we had a movie night, and it would always pertain to like what we're doing. Usually would pertain to what like the music was.
Right.
And my freshman year was Star Wars, so we watched the first Star Wars, and I watched it.
Air quotes for anyone who didn't see it. It was air quotes.
Yeah, so I know like about it. I know like
so
the characters.
The weirdest thing about me is, as a kid, I couldn't wait till the words left, because the thought that I had to read during a movie.
Oh my god!
Was just like, now we're talking about. I'm young. I'm like 5, 6, 7. Like.
So you could barely read anyways.
Right. I don't want to read. Like that's at least like I just get me to the movie. I'm 45 and I thought the same way. Let's get me to the movie. Like.
Right.
I
would feel the same
the
way.
problem is I've read it 100 times. Once you read it 1,000 times, you're just like, yeah. But I don't know, again, this is something you miss by not watching. The music is amazing. So right away, the music is drawing you in.
I played the music.
Yo, you have? It's epic. How do you not watch that after listening to that? Like, the music
alone because what happens when you're in band is that you play the same music over and over again that you're just over it.
For me, the music is like so epic that I was ready to go on the ride. Like I'm like, here it comes, and it
That's
starts
what she
off.
said.
Really?
Yeah.
So it starts off with the like 2 ships flying. The Easy Killer. Yes, one's bigger than the other.
Nice.
As they're flying, you realize they're one's chasing the other.
Okay.
Clearly can tell one is badass as one is not so badass. So you already can feel one side stronger than the other side, you already can tell it right away. And that's when we're introduced to the 2 droids, which is C-3PO, which is the golden guy.
Okay. Yep.
Funny, see how I just made that little as
soon as you said golden guy, like that.
Golden robot. And I said 2 androids. Yeah. And then you have R2-D2, which...
you just have to know him.
If you don't know who R2-D2 is, then we need to rent you a lot more movies of these.
Right.
So it starts off with these 2, and now the bigger ship has taken over the little ship. And then, because you don't know what you're watching. Like, I'm trying to make it like... I can sit here and say left, right, left, because I know all the answers. So I'm trying to make it like if you're not watching, like you, first time watching this.
Yeah.
So they get taken over.
And I love how you're really dumbing it down for me. Because let me tell you, I was reading that and I was like...
I was going to have...
Who are these people?
I was going to have charts.
And you know what? I'm a visual person, so...
Right, so there you go.
So we need to break out the charts next time.
Again, guys, if I'm doing this wrong, please help me out. Please write us on Facebook, on YouTube, how I'm dumbing it down too much. But
no, you're good.
I'm good.
I'm following.
You're following.
Yeah.
So right away, it starts with these 2 droids, and they're like, the best way I can put it is they need to get out of there because everything's blowing up. They're under attack, obviously.
Yep.
So right away, you see all these guards, and you see the droids trying to run for safety. Okay. So then, the best part is the epic door scene. I don't know if you've seen it. I know you've probably seen this.
Probably.
It's when the door kind of blows up. Stormtroopers walk out. Those are the guys in the white and black. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's the thick, like smoke. Darth Vader walks through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, easy. Whoa, gotcha. You're a married woman. He's mostly machine, but you're married.
Hey, I mean, who doesn't love that?
Wowzers. I don't even know if he has that gear on his chest plate. Oh no! See, I knew this was gonna happen. You're
Okay,
ready?
okay, go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead.
So then you see a beautiful, and she is beautiful, woman in white put something in R2D2, and C3PO, which is the golden guy, walks around and says, "Hey, where are you, R2?" Sees him, and then she takes off. So I'm trying to say, and then this is the best part. I love this. This is the best part. Is that at this point, Vader is trying to get information from the head of the ship, if you will, and he's holding his neck, like grabbing him by his neck, holding him up, and he's asking him questions. And as he's choking the man, he kills the man. And it's like, gee, that doesn't work when you're trying to answer. Like right away, as an adult, I go, I didn't go very far. You killed him way faster than you should have, because he's just holding him and he's like, I want answers. And the guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's playing dumb. And then, or was dumb, because you don't know. It's not like, again, this is the best part about the movie. You're thrown into episode 4. So you're already, you're thrown into it. So you're in the middle of a story.
Yeah.
Action's already happening.
Yeah.
Like, you're not sitting there waiting for the action to happen. Like most stories, you have to find out A, B, C, D, and then we get to the action. This is right from the very beginning because it's episode 4. And I don't know if people understand, or at least I say, I'm probably, let's give credit here. Probably 3/4 of the world probably who watch this movie start off and say, this is episode 4. There's more to this. There's more in the beginning. Or at least, again, guys, if you guys thought differently, then tell me, because right away I remember as the older I got and I would watch it, I would sit back and go, okay, what happened in 3? What happened what happened to get us here? So he ends up killing him, and then because R2, the beautiful woman, put something in R2, talks about a secret mission, they decide to get a they get an escape pod on the ship, both androids, and they get launched off, and they off the ship. So right away, you say, well, why didn't they get shot down? What happens is there's no life signs because they're androids. So they're like, there's nobody in it. It just might be a malfunction, and that's how they get away.
Gotcha.
So they end up crashing on a planet, which I love this. They're in a beautiful like sand. It's like a desert. It's horrible. And the first thing he says is, it's so cold, my joints are getting up. I'm like, what kind of desert is this? Says it's cold. But he says, that's C3PO who says it. And they have a very funny fight. And what's funny about that is, and you go, well, what makes it funny is that we only hear one side. We can only, R2D2 just beep, 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 boop, boop, that's it. And C3PO says half the lines. So it's, don't talk to me that way. Don't do that. Don't. So it's a fight that you only get one side from. And I always sit there and I would love subtitles for him. And I love the meme. I don't know if anyone.
I want to know what the creators were thinking, like what he would be saying.
The actual words. Yeah. I always love the meme that says the worst foul mouth actor ever on a movie was R2D2, because every single line he said was beeped out. Because he swore the whole time. That was
yeah.
I'm glad you found that so funny. So they get in a fight. They split up. So one goes one way and one goes the other. The other thing I want to give credit for, and I don't think a lot of people understand, is that R2D2 is basically a he's on wheels. Like, he's on, but not dirt. Like, he's not on dirt bike wheels. He's on, wheels.
Yeah.
So,
how is he getting through the desert?
Yeah. So, what happens is when they film it, I want to give really credit for this, because a lot of people don't really think about the filming. They film far away to a point where you can't see their feet, and you can, I do know, they're on boards and stuff. So, they're walking not really on sand or driving, and that was really, really, you don't really think about it when you're watching it, because there's one point where R2 goes his other way and you see the 3 tracks in the sand, but there's no way he could be going through the sand with his type of tires, wheels, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I really thought was really. They did in Doctor Who with K9. I know you know who it's a little dog, robot dog, and they had to keep putting planks down because of its wheels. Couldn't go they wanted him to go through grass and stuff, and then it was like, he couldn't go.
Like a little toy car.
Yeah. Where now I probably think R2 probably he's probably CGI'd more, but probably has a little more durable wheels. That's probably a good question. I didn't even think of that. What kind of wheels R2 has like now compared to then? Because that everything has to be way more updated. Because there's someone in there.
I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Someone's in there.
I just thought it was
like
a robot.
No, that's actually someone. And there's a man in C-3PO too. It's not real robots.
Well, I can see like R2-D2 being just a robot, but
no, it's actually a little.
But C-3PO, I can see somebody being in there.
Yeah.
I figured somebody was in that. But.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy because they. I watched a documentary on C-3PO and talked about how his I guess his outfit, or his I would say uniform. What do we call it? Your costume. Constantly upgraded to help him move more because the first costume was like he was just like he couldn't even move. He was really like a Tin Man, and they had to do certain moves where half of the things are tightened on or not really on, so he can kind of move. So I really found that where by the end the costume was so like he was like, oh, I want to do this, like I put me in every shot because I could do everything between closing his fingers, between because in this movie, he actually gets handed something, and you can just tell that it just takes everything he has to kind of hold on to because of the way his fingers are and stuff. I always want to give credit because this guy was on pure budget, and yet he found ways to make it look like, I'm sure there's people out there who can go through every single movie and point out, you can see right here the silver is not the gold isn't right, or he had one silver leg, and in this scene it wasn't, like, come on. Like I try not to bring down movies because if you're watching and you're enjoying it, why nitpick it? If it's a movie you hate, maybe, then all right, you can hate it. But that's how I feel. Like, if you're enjoying it and it's a good movie, I hate on it. So he goes his way, and right away you find C-3PO. He starts waving at something because he thinks he sees help. So he's excited, and then it closes, like it goes to another part, and it goes to R2, and he's on rocky terrain. And
so wait, say that again. So
C-3PO sees something from far away, and he turns, and he goes, "Oh, I see help." Actually, he bitches that he gets tricked by R2-D2, that he got talked into going the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying not to tell you the whole friggin' movie. The major pieces.
Well,
we only have an hour and 20 minutes.
I'm sorry. Talk faster. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, God. Hey, again, if everybody's watching and wants to help me out trying to explain this movie to this woman here, Miss Jessie, why Star Wars is amazing, please help me out here.
Where's Ian at?
Yeah, I know. He already came on and went, I'm out.
Right, he's like, I'm not explaining it.
Yeah, this hurts.
I'll talk about Firefly.
And then we flip to R2 where he's in a rocky road, and let me just tell you how they had to have him drive down this clean pathway, because if you really look at it, you can see the clean pathway of the rocks all around. And R2 lands up getting shocked. And then, like, taken by these little hooded aliens. Like, they're black face, yellow eyes, and they're all, like, in a brown type of, like, outfit. Like a monk type of outfit. But it has a hood, so you can't see their face. And they're little.
Okay.
I think they're taller than me. No. There you go, Shannon. I threw in a short joke. So then, to kind of make it fast, they land up meeting. Now R2 is in the transport that we saw with 3PO was waving down. We see them now; they're inside of it.
Okay.
So now they're together, and they land up bumping into each other. We don't need to go into more of like R2. Oh my gosh, it's you! Like they're all excited.
Yeah.
And they land up stopping at a point where they're going to be for sale, because that's what they do. They sell these androids to the people on the planet for money. That's kind of what they are. The scavengers fix up things and then they sell them. And they go to sell C-3PO because he can talk certain languages, and so the farmer's like, I want to buy you, which you kind of already introduced to. Like, you're introduced to Luke earlier, and it's just kind of like you just see everybody, and you find out like he's living on a farm. Like, it's just real simple. I don't want to go too much because it's really not anything to be like.
That's fine.
So then basically, they get another R2, not R2D2. They get another R2, which I think it's D4, R2, D4. So if you guys want to correct me on that, I'm sure someone on YouTube or on Facebook will correct me on that. It's a red.
Well, one can hope. Would it be so funny if I knew the answer?
That'd be amazing right now. I do know somebody had him at their wedding. A celebrity had R2D4 or whatever, that certain R2 as in their wedding. It was really cool, yeah. So C-3PO tells Luke, that R2 comes out and he lands up like almost blowing up a little bit, like, smoke comes out of him, and tells him to take R2D2 instead of that one. So, then as he's now cleaning the androids, that C-3PO tells him about the ship and that he's part of the, rebellion and, all the stuff and basically space. And Luke is like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, I don't want to be on this. Like, I don't want to be a farmer.
Yeah.
Like, this blows. And I don't blame him. I think we all feel like that. Like, you know what it felt like? And this is the best thing, because he's young. He's like, you would say Luke is somewhere in the 18, 19-year-old, like, and he's at a stage where he wants to help his uncle, but he wants to go to, go to school, like, go to some type of pilot school, like, get out of there, like, take life on his own. And I love the fact that Luke is, like, when I look at Luke, I think to myself, yeah, I think every 18-year-old, 19, like, okay, I helped you, Dad, I helped your mom, I helped you, whatever, like, it's time for me to go my way.
Spread my wings, yeah.
Right, and he wants to very desperately, and it seems like his family, and I think they know it, because they talk about his father, and of course, it's like, oh, your father was like, look where it got him, and he's dead, and you're like, oh no, like, your father's dead, oh no, So he takes off. Now, as he's cleaning them, he finds the message, but he finds like a little bit of it, like the little bit of the message, right? All right, so he's like, whoa, she's hot. Like, well, he doesn't say hot. She goes, well, she's really pretty.
Yeah.
But it's still hot.
Yeah.
Which Carrie Fisher was hot.
Yeah.
Well, she passed away, but she was hot. But at 19, no, it doesn't even matter. I think every single one she was in, she was hot. I think she was every.
It was the buns.
It's the bun. I don't know. It was all of it.
All three of them.
No, she didn't do all three movies with the buns.
No.
That's all four of them.
Whatever.
She actually would take them off. Sorry, guys. So she's absolutely. I think she's every little. I'm not every single kid. I mean, we're all different, but I would imagine that this girl was a crush on like every geek boy there was, or girl, probably at some time. And so he's just like, yeah, all right, I need more information, and he lands up connecting to. Like, there's a guy named Ben Kenobi, and they're looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he goes, I wonder if they're talking about Ben. See? If you're listening, are you getting confused on any character here? Because this is how the story really starts. Like, it's really, like, you're like, okay. But you don't have to remember everybody to a T, because they're kind of, like, eventually all, like, at one point, they're all together. Like, the whole crew are together. And if you can't remember somebody, I don't know how, because it's been, you add each one on at a time.
Okay.
Okay, so you know the gold, the gold guy.
Yeah.
C-3PO.
Yeah.
You know R2-D2.
Yeah.
You know Luke Skywalker. Okay, so
you're good. We're good.
We're good,
We're
so
good right
far.
now.
We're good. That's all that's in the crew right now. So, they end up eating breakfast, and I love the look that the uncle gives, the aunt gives the uncle, because she starts talking about going to college and that he doesn't want, not college, but like go off to this school, and he doesn't want to do another season. And the uncle's like, one more season. I feel like
You're right.
we're all like that.
Right.
Like, can you give me one more year? I don't want to pay for this. I'll have enough droids if you give me one more year, maybe two. You know, I just need to buy this before you go. And you know as well as I do, they break down. So I just feel like it's like they don't want to let go because they don't. And of course, knowing the big storyline, I'm not trying to ruin it for everybody, but I guess if you're watching this, I'm gonna ruin it for you anyway. There's a bigger picture. Like, they don't want him to be like his father and go chasing stars, because that's basically you're like going to be like your father.
Right.
And he asks about Ben. Oh no, Obi-Wan. He talks about Obi-Wan, and he says he thinks that he died with his father. And he's like, oh wait a minute, Obi-Wan knew my father? And he's like, yeah, I think they're both dead.
Perfect.
Like, you know, so
yeah.
Basically the uncle's trying to get him to stay as a farmer, and the aunt's like,
just like trying to talk him out, right?
No, the aunt's like,
no,
like the aunt's like, it's in his blood, like, you know, like he's gonna be like his father. Like, just let him. Like, why are you fighting it? The more you fight it, the more this kid wants to go do it, which makes sense. I mean, I don't know. We all have our thing, or at least I feel like it. Sometimes it's like you're like, don't do it. The more you say don't do it, the more you're like,
yeah.
And then
it's like, don't touch the button. Yeah. And I'm like, gotta touch the button. It's red. It's staring right at me.
You are that type.
I am so.
You are that
it's type. It's like I'm also the type to go in the toy aisle and hit every button and walk away.
No, how you? No, I can't.
I'll turn all of them on. And
I think it's
away.
Because I actually look in the toy aisle, like because it's me, like
like
that look, like
guy
I have that look, like
who did that?
Like, as that person's hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm looking at my. Which I'm right now trying to collect all the He-Man figures, and I'm looking at you like, I've only come down here to look what's here. Can you please no? And of course,
look faster.
The worst is the when you walk by and they have to make the noise. Like, you walk by and it's like,
those are creepy. Like that. What are they, like, for real ones? Well, you just walk past them and like, wee.
That's creepy. Yeah, thing with. That's creepy. We got too loud. That's probably was me. Yeah, that is creepy. Then it becomes the iconic. I don't know about you. Like, this is when the music and Luke Skywalker walks out, and he walks, and it's the two suns setting, and I don't know. Like, it's iconic. Like, please, if you don't know what scene I'm talking about, or you do, please give me a shout out. Like, I feel like I'm doing that a lot today.
What?
Give me a shout out. I just feel like there's certain things I love. I just want to know it's just not me, because I love that scene. I do. I get like, oh, imagine watching two sunsets. Like, right, like one goes down and then the second one comes down. Like, I don't know. I just think that's cool. So basically, you get the fact that Luke wants to travel, does not want to stay home, and so as he goes back into where the droids are, he realizes that. R2 ran away, or rolled away, I should say.
I think he ran. With those wheels? Come on.
He does do that whole shake thing. Like, he puts a third wheel inside of him, and then he does that whole, like, you ever seen him walk? He does do the little walk.
No. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen it, so how?
Yeah, no, but you've never seen R2-D2? Like, okay, we're moving on. I just got that dumb look like, no, I've never seen this. I have no idea. I've never seen anything Star Wars. Who are the people you're talking about?
When does Yoda come in? Come on.
So, Luke decides to take C-3PO the next morning because it's too late, it's dark.
Yeah.
Too dangerous. So he leaves first thing in the morning, and you find out because the uncle says, where's Luke? And he says, oh, I think he took the droids. And really, he's trying to find the other droid.
Mm-hmm.
And then we meet the Sand People. And these people, right away, if you don't know what sand people are, they're like mummies with things sticking out of their eyes. They're all bandaged all the way up. They're scary. And they do this, like, why are you disgust face? Like, I didn't say they're monsters. I just said they're bandaged from head to toe. Actually, they're supposed to be, and I know this because I am a geek and I actually know this stuff, that they're actually just people wrapped up so the sand doesn't get in everywhere. So they wrap themselves up, and then they have like special eye things for their eyes, basically so they can keep their eyes open so it doesn't get sand in their eyes, and they have a breathing thing and a thing over their mouth. But they look scary, but they're actually human beings.
They're just trying to live.
They're just trying to survive in the sand. Okay? Hence the sand people, because we couldn't come up with something
Mr.
better.
Sandman.
I'm sure there's a proper name. I'm sure there's a proper name, but they call us sand people. They're like, no, that was it.
That's the proper name.
And because this is the funniest scene, because this I feel like happens to all young people, and I don't want to say it doesn't happen to old people, but something about this made me relate to me in my life. So he's sitting there with binoculars, like the cool future from another place. So it's like one thing that breaks out into two, which I haven't caught on how that works. But he's sitting there and he's looking at him, and as he's looking at him, one jumps up like right in front of him and starts like nearly bashing his brains in. And I'm like, how many times have we focused on here and didn't focus on what's like right in front of us? And he basically gets knocked out. Like he gets his ass whooped by this sand person. I wonder if there's sand, him, hers.
Sandy.
No, I'm serious. Sand people, so it'd be like sand.
Sand hers. Sand cheese. Sand hims.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. I just found that a little funny. Sorry. Like,
Shandays.
can you not get into
Shandays.
this? Like, can you not get into this? Really? So, all of a sudden, you see a stranger screaming from afar, and he's all. It's all like a giant cloak over his head. You can't really see anything. And he comes up, and you find out it's Ben Kenobi, and basically he talks to Luke, and then Luke just turns around and says, "Hey Ben, you know Obi?" And he goes, "Oh, that's me. I haven't gone by that name in a very long time." Like,
oh, so he's the same guy.
So it's the same guy. So Ben Kenobi is really Obi-Wan Kenobi. Listen to you. Someone's getting a little involved now. Huh? Now you want to know the rest, huh? Well, I'm done. No.
And that's all you get.
No. I love the fact that CPO has one moment where when the sand person jumps up and get him, he gets so scared he just backs up. And I feel really bad because I know the actor can't move in that. Like, I know in that first one he can't move.
Yeah.
So like him falling back was like he really had to fall. Like it was him falling back. Obviously he fell on something soft, but it was the fact that he was like, oh. And he falls back. There's a lot of funny scenes in this. Like, it's really a family thing. Like, I'm not surprised I'm not really surprised that Disneyland are buying this because it really was. It's really a light type of. I mean, it's serious. I mean, we have our moments where we cry. We have moments that we care. But it's really a fun ride to go on, and I think too many fans. And this is my opinion only. And I know you haven't watched it, so it's only my opinion. Some fans go too far with this, especially with the 3 newest movies that didn't do that well. People got too serious about like.
What do you mean?
You know what happens is you make one movie, you made 2 movies, you make 3 movies. We're now all invested.
Mm-hmm.
And now you make the next movie, and now it's not really involved with this over here. I felt like a lot of people were like, what happened? What changed it? What are you talking about? It was already a light movie in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this a lot with the Indiana Jones. Like, did you see that last one with the crystals, skulls? They're like, that was ridiculous. What kind of aliens? I'm like, what are you talking about? In the first movie was the Covenant of the Ark, and they opened it up and their face melted off. Do you think that was real? Like, did you think that really happened? Like,
right. And
then the second movie was a guy ripping your heart out because he had magical powers from like the devil and you think that was really happening? Like, where's the? I don't know. I think we just forget, like, it's made to be a story we're supposed
Right.
to enjoy. It's not supposed to be a Bible that we love and enjoy. And I think too many people cling on to this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm going to get plenty of people writing, if not on Facebook, on YouTube, that's going to tell me you're wrong. It is the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Maybe somebody's Bible.
Yeah,
but
I mean, no, there is a religion, Jedi religion. There is.
I bet there is.
No, there really is.
I bet there is.
But the trick is that it's not. This is a man's imagination.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is people's imaginations that makes a story that makes us go for a ride. Sometimes, I mean, I admit there's movies that I'll watch and I go, that's like comic book movies. I'm really bad on that. I'll go, he's not supposed to be here. He's here.
Well, because you read them all,
right?
So you know, like,
but
what...
there's a piece of me that goes, does it really matter when he's here or not here? He's in this movie. Like, is this a good movie? Does it really change anything? You know, like.
Right.
And then, so for me, I go for this ride. I try to dumb it down. Like, no. Like, I watch it as a dumb guy. Like, okay, what are you doing for me? Like, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't come with judgments, even though I know what I want and don't want. But it doesn't always work that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, at this point, it's getting late, and they basically tell them, Obi-Wan says, you know, I'm just going to call Obi-Wan not Ben anymore, because we know who he is. He basically says, come home with me, and he ends up telling the truth. Like, he talks about Darth Vader was his student, that he knew Luke's father, and that basically Vader killed his father. And he lands up giving him his father's lightsaber, not lightsaber. And I say that because I've known a lot of people who say it's saver, and I'm like, it's not something you put in your mouth.
Those are so good, though. Do you ever have the gummy ones?
Yes, I have.
Those, I like the hard candy ones better, but yes.
I'm a spearmint guy. Like, I can eat the spearmint candies.
Mm-hmm. I like them all, though.
Yeah, I do, but I
don't discriminate.
But butterscotch too good.
Oh God, no! Oh no! Get out of here with that.
I'm old folks. You know, I'm the guy who has all the candies in the pocket. You know?
I bet you had those little strawberry ones too. They're like, where do those come?
Oh, strawberry cream. Remember those? It was like white and red, and then
yeah.
Like see now, huh?
But I mean, like the ones that like they're wrapped up like a strawberry to look like a strawberry.
I love
you know?
those with the gummy in the middle, like the little.
I don't. Yeah, I've never had one. But
You've never had one? No, I am. God, we're going really tangent. We're talking about goddamn candy. No, but
So he gave her a breath mint? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a lightsaber, which is a sword.
Sorry.
And so Obi-Wan sees the message that the droid has. I love the fact that in the first. Okay, I'm gonna really back up here, and I'm going to totally ruin this for somebody. But I love the fact that the whole movie 4, there was 3, and the whole first 3 had CPO and R2D2, and this old guy's like, I don't remember owning a droid. I was like, yeah, you didn't own it, but you hung out with this thing like the whole first 3 movies. How do you not remember it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this droid. I'm like, good. Something happens to you later, and I see why. Can't remember the friggin' blue and white little beep 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 robot. Like, this is new.
The what kind of robot?
Beep 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 beep.
My favorite kind.
And the gold guy you don't even know either. Like how many gold robots walk around?
Right.
Oh yes. Now you're not gonna appreciate this as much as I do. But in this movie is Peter Cushing gets he is in this movie now. He's an actor who's done Sherlock Holmes, Doctor Who, Star Wars. I believe he was in oh come on, is it the vampire movie? A vampire movie? Like, he's done so many epic movies that there's moments that you go, what now? Like, he's in that movie, and Peter Cushing is amazing. Like, he's been in every single, like, in my mind, epic movie, to a point that they even computer animated him, CGI'd him in another movie, because his role was so big, and this guy was such an epic actor. Like, that's how much I love this guy.
Did he die? Is that why you did that? Or did he die, or is he just part of a different movie when they CJ?
Oh no, he's passed on. He's very probably, and I'm not trying to sound rude, but I think he passed on like after Star Wars. Oh, he was Sherlock Holmes too. One of the famous Sherlock Holmes. Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was famous Sherlock Holmes. Like, he was one of the famous ones.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's the bomb. And that's when we kind of see Vader again. And I love this scene. This is the best scene, I think, in the world, because it's like this round table, and it's all upper management. You know, it's basically like, you know, what's happening and, you know, what's going on. It's like, well, those plans that are in that the princess has / droid, which was that's the trick, the girl with the princess. Because now we're starting I'm going to get more into her. And she basically has the plan for like their new space station. So they're in a round table, and you kind of go like, "Oh, this is work." Like, you just feel like it's work now, like, you know, because they're like, "Yeah," and everyone's just sitting there, and they have their little like uniforms on with their little medals. I don't know why I love this. I think it's like the moment when you realize the Empire is really worked by actual people. If you understand what I mean, like, it's actual people working it. So there's this cocky guy who lands up basically telling, Vader that, you know, like, his force, air quotes force, like, is like humbo jumbo, like, stuff. Like, don't worry about it. We have technology, and technology is better than this religion, force. Like, he's not doing air quotes, but you know, it's the way he's talking. Yeah. Even I was like sitting there thinking, I was on the other side of the table, I'd be like, man, why are you being a jerk to the boss? Like, this guy outranks you and you're gonna trash him? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who are you? Yeah. Because you know you're not Peter Cushing. Like, he's not him. He's not the general. Like, he's not even colonel. He's a nobody. He's just he only has like blue stripes on his thing. He doesn't have the red ones. I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't even think you're that.
You ain't nothing.
Yeah. And so he starts talking trash, and then I love it, and then Vader has the best moment and goes like this with his finger, uses the force, and he's like, he starts joking. You're like, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know. Even as a kid, I was like, yeah,
saw that coming.
Yeah, like, you better say I'm sorry. Right. You better come up with something. You better be kissing some boots here. Right. And he's like, I'm not impressed by something about the lack of faith. Like, so I'm disturbed by their lack of faith. And he's like, oh, sorry. Because he can barely talk. And then he stops. You know, Vader takes off the chokehold on him, like, with his fingers, which is so, I mean, come on. Right then, that's when the magic of the Force starts for every single kid in the world. He just choked a guy from across the room by putting his little, like, you know, when I was in high school, there was a show there where this little goes, I crush you, and he would have your head from far away, and he would crush you.
I don't think if you didn't do that as a kid.
No, from like far, far away, it goes, I crush you. This guy just choked somebody, like, to near death from across the room, going, crush. Right. And right then, I think every single kid in the world was like, the Force rules.
How do I get that?
Yeah. Oh, God, I wish. There were so many kids that you would just be like...
Maybe that cannibal or that guy who pickled the people. Maybe... or, was that it? Oh, no, the black magic guy. Maybe that's what he was looking for. The Force.
Okay. I know I'm going to go a total tangent here, and I'm sorry to say this, but I just watched Dennis the Menace, and someone brought over pickled watermelon rinds. Yeah. What? Who? How did? No one eats watermelon rinds. Why are you?
I don't even get to, like, once you get to the little white part, you're like.
That's what a rind is. That's the rind. Is the outside of the watermelon. Someone pickles it and they eat it, and they're like, oh, I brought over my famous watermelon rind pickled. I'm like, I googled it, and they're like, it's good on burgers. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with people? Who the hell wants that on a burger?
You're like, pickles, get out of here. Give me the rind.
Give me the watermelon pickled rind. Watch out. Yummy, yummy. And then you gotta think, it's hard. How mushy would it be after, like, being pickled? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how, like, you would
But
have to chop
I
it up.
I would think it'd still be crunchy because pickles
No
are
way.
crunchy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to chop up the rind. You can't, imagine putting watermelon in there, too. I think they have to cut out the
What do you mean?
You have to cut out the watermelon part
Well,
to
yeah.
put the rind in.
Yeah,
And then you eat
it's not
it.
pickled watermelon. It's pickled watermelon rind.
Yeah, but you eat this on your burger. So, like, it has to be soft. It can't be... Have you ever tried eating the rind? Have
No.
you...
No, because once you get, like, to a little, like, less red, I'm out.
She's like, if there's a pink, I'm out. Like,
Right?
like less red, that's pink.
Yeah.
I'm out. Okay, moving along. Oh, greatest line ever for... Of course, no, I don't even know if anyone's listening anymore because of this tangent. But best line ever said in episode 4 is Obi-Wan and Luke finds that the... they're called Jawas. Where the androids were in, that ship that I was talking about, like transport. He says, it's looked like it's a sand people attack, but it's not. Because sand people walk in single file, because that hides their number, and these are side by side, and that the stormtroopers' attack was too precise. Have you ever seen a Star? No, you've never seen a Star Wars. I just want you to know, stormtroopers can't hit the side of a barn. They miss all the time. Like, they don't kill anybody. Anybody's important.
What's the point?
They can literally walk down the... You will watch every Star Wars thing you ever watch. Everyone will walk by and never get shot. And you just go...
So what's the point?
What the... Yeah, that's the funniest part.
That sounds like me when Kelsey tried to get me to try and play a game, and I did the tutorial. The target didn't move, and I still couldn't get it. She's
All
like,
right.
yeah, let's not do that.
I tried one type of me shooting game ever, and if anyone wants to know, that I got put into, I believe it was Call of Duty heavy something, and I got thrown into it. I killed 2 of my own. I didn't even know it.
At least you killed someone.
Yeah, I know, but
I didn't even hit the object.
I had a friend in another room. What the fuck, Niles?
They can't take over.
I was like, what's the button to kill myself? I'm
Right.
out.
How do I blow myself up?
There are ways, but trust me, my friend's like, BAK, whatever it was. He's like, you need this and get the hell off of this. All right, so, was too precise. Yeah, come on. So Luke panics and realizes that if the Empire can find that, they can find out where he lived because of, where the droids were sold. So he shows up, and actually a very gross scene. It's Luke's uncle and aunt, basically skeleton. They're dead.
Ew.
Yeah, don't mess with the Empire.
Oh.
That's the only time they actually got who they were trying to kill. They weren't main characters. They're like, oh, in the script, you're supposed to go. Sorry. That's in the script.
Sorry about it.
This guy is a visible force field. So now he comes back and basically he wants to go with, because there's nothing to stay. He doesn't need to be a farmer anymore and get the hell out of there.
Right.
So now we go back to, I believe we're back to Vader, and now we figure out she is a proper princess, because now he calls her princess, because he called her ambassador in the beginning, or your highness. It was never a princess. Now she goes princess, which I didn't really realize until I was watching this. Like, I was like, oh, I didn't even know. Like, I just always just thought.
Is she actually a princess?
Yes, she is a princess. In the first movies, her mom is the princess. Believe it or not. I'm trying to skip now because I know I'm going to...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is a long movie.
Well, it's not a 5-minute movie, Like, it's me. I have to...
How long is this movie?
It's like 2-hour movie, not even a 3-hour movie.
Okay.
Harry Potter's longer than these.
Okay.
But the only problem is it's me trying to explain it instead of just showing it. Because
Yeah.
these people you don't have to talk that much when it's this. I'm actually just gonna, because I really don't have much time left. But also another thing, just for in case, because there's two major topics that a lot of people fight over this movie a lot. Is the, see what happens is Luke and Obi-Wan lands up going to the city / into a bar scene. And in the bar scene, there's where we meet Han Solo, which is the pilot that's going to take us everywhere. You know, there is a guy named Greedo that works for Jabba the Hutt. Basically, it's a guy that Han Solo owes money to. And the big talk...
He's a big blob, right? Or no?
No, Jabba the Hutt, yeah. He's kind of like slug. Like a slug
yeah,
thing, yeah. And Greedo's this little, like, fish-shaped, I don't know, looking thing. Like, I don't know. It's an alien. It is what it is. But the big topic was who shot first.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to say this right now because there was this big topic that Han Solo is a bad guy because he shot Greedo before he shot. I just want you to know right now, if you're in, like, if you live in the world like they did, where it's basically like the Old West, like it's like they have guns on their hips.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who shot first or who shot whatever. He shot. He killed the guy. The guy came and had a gun, made him sit down, and if I can shoot him before he shoots me, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It doesn't matter. He didn't really die.
Right.
And if we went to the Old West, it was shot or be shot. So if you live in that environment and not in a civilized world, which this world is not civilized, like as we know it, I am going to tell you 100 times I would be Han Solo and shoot him before he shot me first anytime.
Yeah.
Because the big topic, well, Greedo really didn't shot first. He shot. What, are you going to wait for he shoots you, then shoot you? Like, that's stupid. Right. Like, who cares? I know that's been a, like, debate that's been going on forever. Who shot first? And actually, they corrected it because they had Greedo actually shoot first in this movie. Because it's not the original. I told you about that. And I'm like, who effing cares? It's not real. Second of all, if I had a choice between him dying or me dying, guess who's dying? Him, not me.
I was like, I don't know. It could be two ways here. Depends on the day.
After this podcast, I want to be shot. Oh, the other thing about Peter Cushing, a lot of people don't know, because he's in a uniform and he has to wear boots. If there was any scenes that was above his, he wore his slippers.
Oh my god, that would be me.
Yeah, because the boots would hurt his feet.
Yeah.
And because why wear like these boots if he didn't have to?
Right.
So he would have almost all his scenes is in these, like, you don't see them, but they're in slip. Yeah. He's in stuff. So if you can't see his feet, he's in these, like, they said like these blue slippers, which is hilarious.
Blue?
Like that, or something like that. Like something like that. That's hilarious to me.
Oh my god, that'd be me in a heartbeat.
Yeah. So almost like and then, mind you, now we see, you know, they take off now because Han Solo gets hired. So then Han Solo has a co-pilot called Chewie Chewbacca, which is the big, hairy, dog-looking thing. I'm sure you've seen 100 times. So it's not that confusing so far. She's like, I'm already lost. In this one, they do the whole talking of to Jabba, but in the original, they couldn't do the CGI Jabba, which when I watched it, I was like,
skip right over it.
Yeah, no, I watched it, but it's just kind of like, you know, when you're a kid and you watch this 100 times and then it's like a scene, you're like, it didn't really change anything. Like, I don't know if this made this movie that much better. Like, it did fill in a little gap hole, but not enough. Then, as they realize they escape, which they don't really escape because there's a like bug on their ship. So they're following the ship, if you will. They go to they end up going to the planet they were supposed to go to, Alderaan, and basically in so many words. I'm trying to just cut out a lot of stuff.
Right.
They blew it up. They blew it up already.
Good.
Well,
Good.
that's the
That's
princess's
good. Yeah.
like place. That's where she lived. So
okay.
it was like devastating.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're like, oh, the Death Star, which is that.
I know what that is.
Like it means business.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like you find out some really great things. You know, you find out like Wookiees are bad sports, and he gets really annoyed when he loses, because when he loses, he'll rip people's arms off. So the droids, C-3PO tells R2-D2, says, let him win. Let the Wookiee win. You know, it's a really fun type of movie.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're already getting like, oh, because it's a long movie.
Mm-hmm.
They go rescue the princess, which lands up becoming funny because it's really not a good rescue. They end up falling into the garbage. There are some scenes I didn't get. Like, I like the fact that the water only went up to the knee, but there's like this trash monster living in there, so he grabs Luke and drags him under, but Han Solo can't find him in the water. I'm like, it's up to your knee. How did you lose him?
Right.
Like, where does it get deeper somewhere? Like, where's the... But that's, you know, it's a movie.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, this is one of those people like, wow, that didn't make sense. Or
Yeah.
somebody all whips out like, oh, it's underneath here. It goes a little deeper. And,
Right.
you know, like...
There's a drop off here.
Yeah, you know, and then you're like, oh, okay, thank you for clearing that up.
Right.
You know? And, of course, I love the fact, this is the best part of the movie. You love girl power. I believe this princess is, like, badass.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, we used to play it, and I used to be like, tell my cousin all the time, I'd be like, you want to be the princess. She's like, she'll grab a gun, she shoots, she's not that typical, come save me. They didn't write her as this innocent girl who couldn't get her way out of a plastic bag. If anything, she's sarcastic, she's a strong woman. She's like, great rescue, you know, they're in the garbage, and he's like, sorry, princess. And the Han Solo thing, because they're both so cocky at the moment, which makes it even funnier, because I feel like each line that she says, if you will, antagonizes him, and vice versa. Like, they just get basically, at the end of for me, I didn't realize this, how many scenes Luke is slightly hitting on the princess.
I mean, it makes sense because he wants.
No, it doesn't.
I know why it doesn't, but I mean, like, he didn't know.
Right, I know, but it's like, as a kid, I never realized he's like, oh, I'm saving the day right now. Oh, look at me. And I'm like, why does he keep saying that? And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, he's hitting on her. And like, and there was a part where I did really love, I want to
take the words and
I'm skipping a part, but I'll go back, but I want the part when they're both in the cockpit, Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. Yes, cockpit. And they're fighting, they're like, oh, so she's kind of annoying, huh? Luke says to Hans, and Hans like, yeah, I don't know, she's kind of bratty. She goes, oh, good, I don't think so. And then he's like, looks at his face, he's like, yeah, but I think she likes me. All of a sudden it becomes like a male pissing match on a woman, if you will. Like, but not dirty. Kind of like a little like, you don't like her, do you? Like, because I like her. Like, you know? But Obi-Wan lands up going. He dies.
Oh.
But he dies by choice.
Where's he going?
But he dies by choice. Because he becomes stronger. And then ends up being in, like, the Force all around Luke. And Luke lands up hearing Obi-Wan through the whole movie. Like, Luke, use the Force. Luke, do this. You know, trust in yourself. So this whole... He becomes even bigger. He becomes even... Like, for me... We watch him kind of, like... They have Vader and him have a moment of like dueling, and it's really not good. I mean, it's an old man clearly fighting someone who's at his prime, if you will, and robot prime or whatever, you know, like basically destroyed. Like, and there's a point where he just lifts up his sword and he kind of gets it. Like, he's kind of like, you know, I can be bigger and better if I lose this. And of course, Luke's like, he doesn't see the bigger picture, so it's like, what? He's devastated.
Right.
And I don't know. You just have that whole moment where I think it's like, oh no, because it's in the first movie, and he's the guy that's supposed to be teaching him everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a real. I remember being a kid and being like, I don't think he's supposed to die. Like, isn't he supposed to like be the guy who teaches him all the way through? And and it's really not. They escape, and I just kind of like because I'm trying to. I love the fact we get to a point where near the end, because we're near the end, is that we get the plans for the Death Star, and it's a vent. It's a vent that if you hit just right, it goes all the way to the core. This one vent that's like 2 meters long, like this too little, and if you hit it just right, it'll go right down to this like core and blow the whole thing up. And you're like, so out of this whole planet, like a moon, Death Star, there's one little vent that has like a whole strip connected to it. Like it's not even like, if you hit it just right, it'll blow up. And I love the fact that the first try doesn't work. They blow up. And this is and you gotta love Darth Vader's like new ship. Because he comes out and it doesn't look like anybody else's. And you're like, he's sporting his own ship. Like his own look. And he's like, yep, I'm the daddy of all daddies here. Right. He's like pipping it. He's like... And so the second crew goes to do it. And they don't, and they miss it. They hit, but they miss. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh. And because it. Like now we're at like the part of the movie where I feel like like it's written for you. Like every non-person who has imagination already knows what's going to happen. It's like, okay, Luke has to do this. We get it. Luke has to do it. And they call Luke, and he comes down, and they tell him, "Don't use the computer, use the Force." And you hear it, and of course, right when he comes to blow up the thing, Darth Vader and his crew comes, and Han Solo comes out, and because he had left with the money, like he was happy, I'm out. Comes back and saves the day by hitting one guy, the TIE fighter that hits Vader, that goes spinning off into space somewhere. And I was always like, ah. And I'm always I know, and I'm like, okay. And so he wins the day, the whole Death Star blows up. And I like to talk about one more debate, and that is at the end of the movie, Luke Skywalker gets a medal, Han Solo gets a medal, and the Wookiee, Chewie Chewbacca, just stands there and no one gives him an effing medal. Like, was he not there during that whole battle? Like, hello? Are we, I don't know, racist towards Wookiees or something? Like, he doesn't get one. Which, no, I mean, like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know nothing for the droids. And the princess just gives it to the two, like, here you go. And they look at each other, I'm like, and I don't get this. I don't get that part. That's the part that really aggravates me. Like, if you're a princess and you're giving out medals, you would think you give everyone that goes on that mission. Mm-hmm. Because, basically the droid is what helped find Luke, that find Obi-Wan Kenobi, that found Han Solo, and the Wookiee, Chewie, was driving the Falcon while Luke and Hans was shooting. Like, he did his part.
Yeah.
And only 2 people got the medal. So tell me, do you want to watch this movie now? She's like, no. See, the worst thing is trying to tell people something, a movie, is harder because there's so much. The music is amazing. There's more jokes. I can't tell all the jokes. Like, it's not funny because you're not in the moment. Yeah. When you watch these and you have these moments, and I think Han Solo has the best line, like the little one-liners that you just go, did he just say that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's the chemical, like, I don't know. I just felt like, the 3 main actors, probably, you know what? I'll be real honest. I feel like the main crew Really, just the droids. They all have a special type of chemistry with everybody. Like I feel like they really do all love each other. I feel like at first you think, oh, it's just a movie, and then like if you watch the next one, you'll be just like, no, they have something. Even though we did already found out that Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher had an affair during that movie.
Really? I did not know that.
You didn't know that? No. She was in her book.
Oh.
Which, unfortunately, she passed away.
Yeah. I knew who she was. But.
Yeah. She was... I love the fact that... I love... I do. I really, really love strong women. Like, in stories. Like, I hate when they make them dumb down. Or, like, can't function. Or, I don't mind if they're going to dumb down a woman to make her stronger near the end. Like, I always like that moment where... And I know this is stupid, but I always love the fact where that one girl breaks a nail and she's been all sissy, like, oh, you broke a nail. And then it's like, they just go crazy, like, they're grabbing guns, and you're like, oh, like, why didn't we do this a half an hour ago? Like, we needed you a half hour. You know, like, but I like strong women. I like the fact that because she doesn't, they try to do all these torture things to get her to talk, and she won't talk. So she's already strong enough in the way as when Darth Vader's like, she's not going to talk. Like, she's not going to give you what you want to know. And everyone's like, yeah. Hey, Ian. Ian comes near the last 10 minutes, Ian. You're going to have to watch this on YouTube. Tell us how bad it is or how good it is. But I like strong women in movies.
Yeah.
I like when they push. I like when strong women push the man even stronger and is right beside him. That doesn't mean, like, I even like in the fact when she's the star of the show and is lifting up people around her. To be like, I don't know, I've always liked that. Yeah. I always feel, since I've been a kid, and I don't know why I've always thought this, I've always just felt like, probably because I rode horses, so I saw girls do things that I never thought. Like, you know, I was surrounded by strong, tough girls. I've seen girls fall off of horses and crash through fences and, you know, and an hour later jumping on a horse and being like, I'm doing this, you know, like, so I've been around that, and I respect that, and I like the fact is, yeah, Luke Skywalker is the lead of the story. I get it. Right. But they don't make the princess like this.
Like your average princess who
right.
can't
And
do
in
anything.
1977, 78,
yeah,
they didn't make her like in a white dress afraid of getting dirty. She's there screaming at, like, she's in the water / garbage yelling at the rest of them, you know, like, this is great, you know, how could you do this? Ian says, I love a strong woman. Aww. My wife is a prime example. Yeah, I love that. I think the only thing I'm going to say is, I know I'm going to get in a little trouble with this, but this is my view, and so if you want to complain, you can write to me all you want, is that I respect everybody. I really don't care what you do, as long as you're a good person. I don't care if you're gay, you're black, you're white, Chinese, whatever. You're a good person, you're a good person. You're a bad person, you're a bad person. It don't matter what you are. I like when people say, I'm going to write a movie about a gay person. I'm just, for example, a gay woman, a strong woman. I love that. I don't like when they say, me personally, is like, oh, how about we change this character that's been written as A for so long? Let's change it into this type of person. Like, I think that's disrespectful. For me, that's disrespectful for whoever you're going to write into the black, the small person, the, you know, I love when they get the people and they say, we're going to take this character and we're going to bring it up. Because I'm 100% like that. I love when there's new characters. I remember this as a kid. I'm short. Like, I'm only 5'6". I'm not very tall. Obviously, the love of my life is like 5'8". So she's like...
Well, I'm 5'1", so...
No, but...
Yeah.
Most like half the girls are taller than me or shorter than me, but
Yeah.
the taller than me is usually much taller than me.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I remember like certain girls that I like wouldn't go out with me because I was short.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember reading a comic, and in Alpha Force, there's a character called Puck, and he's real short. Like he's short, like a little person.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much invincible. Like he's a badass, and they throw him around, and they basically becomes a living puck. And he basically, and I love the fact that they found a character for someone that's like 3 foot tall, whatever he was, and it would like I didn't like them saying, oh, let's make Captain America short.
Right.
Now I know they're like, oh, like I don't mind certain things, like there are some characters that I feel like we don't know they're whatever, if you want to make them that. Like, they made the very first golden years, golden or silver, Green Lantern gay. That was fine, because I didn't think I really even thought of what he was. Like, what I mean? But I don't think we need to, like, rewrite characters completely.
Right.
I want new characters. I want a new... If you can come up with a brand new, because there's like new,
or like even like a male character, and they like, oh, here's a female now. Like, just give me a new person.
Just give me a new person. Yeah, I totally am for that. I mean, that's me. I know people really like. Well, it's kind of like I want to give the respect to someone new. I want new. I want them to have that moment of going, this is the best superhero. Not, this is the best superhero. Oh, now it's a girl now. Yeah. But he was the best anyway, so now, of course, like, I feel we took away from it being whatever it is, a girl or whatever, because it's just the same character.
Right. I say that all the time. Like, we don't need to be doing, like, Disney's, like, really into that right now, where they do all the remakes.
Right.
Give me something new.
Right. For instance, like, I don't know if you saw, did you see the live action Cinderella?
No.
Like, I just saw this on TV.
Well,
like
hold
a
on.
I've seen... You see the commercials? Because I didn't watch it, but I saw the commercials.
The new one? Because
one
there's like 400.
Yeah, the fairy godmother is a black gay man.
No, I did not see that.
I assume he's a gay man. I really, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I saw the first Cinderella
and I stop
one.
and I say, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Because there is nothing wrong with that. But then I stop and go, why did it have to be that?
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't it have been this? Like, why couldn't it have been since it's live action, why couldn't it be like one of the mice gay? Mm-hmm. Like, why did it have to be the fairy godmother? And would it still be the fairy god? This is what we talked about. Because this is where I get, like, fuzzy. Because I don't feel like there's a real line to things. Because you, as a gay woman, like, we talked about this. Because you are officially married. Congratulations, you and your lovely wife.
Thank you.
But she went dressed as a groom. Fair? Am I saying it right? Don't get me in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get what you mean.
Right.
You don't have to like be like, oh my god, don't like.
Yeah, I know. But this is what I don't want. I feel like it gets insulting to people because it's like if you dress as a male, as a female, I'm supposed to say his, her, his. Like I'm supposed to use the male pronouns, right? Not right. Am I saying that right?
Pronouns.
Right.
Yeah.
But with you guys, it's not how it is. Like she went as a bride.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I love you too, so I don't want to insult.
I understand like where you're coming from and how confusing it gets, and like this could be like a whole podcast in itself, and I'm sure we will make a podcast about this. And you did say that somebody told you like if they dress like that, then they usually go by
Which was a gay person who was telling me this is the proper way to say it, so you insult someone. Right.
But I think no matter, like, people are going to get mad no matter what you do. So, speaking of the wife.
Speaking of the wife.
They're going to get mad no matter, like, what. If you try or if you don't try or. Right. So, it's just, at the end of the day, you might be wrong. And you're just going to have to be okay with that, you know?
But the thing is that we don't want to be wrong.
And I understand
because
that.
Then we feel like the bad guys. Because all we want to do is show that person respect. And that's what we want to do.
Right. But once you're corrected, then I expect you to be.
Right. No,
Like,
I get that.
But what I'm saying is, like, us as humans, like, we don't want to be wrong. We never want to be wrong. We always, because we feel like
Right.
a shitty person that way.
Absolutely.
But we are human, and we are going to make mistakes. But that's how you learn, you know?
Right.
So
well, someone needs to tell all the Karens in the world, because those
Well-
Karens in the world are the ones.
Well, that's another podcast, too.
Karens in the world can be, and a lot of people say, oh, right away, like, oh, well, Karens are these people, and I always feel like Karens are not just conservative or liberal, like they're everybody, because those are the people who jump down and say, excuse me, it's madam, or it's her, and I'm like,
Right.
well, I just met you, like, how am I supposed to know?
Well, and then
It's not, there's no signs.
right, if you don't want to make a mistake, you can always ask what their pronouns are, or be like, hey, you know, thank you, Ian.
I know the pronouns. I can throw you off. I do that all the time.
Well, you like distract me, and that was the thoughts.
Squirrel.
Like, yeah.
But yeah.
Like, so yeah,
But
just like
that's
ask him what their
But
pronouns
that's
are.
the
if that-
problem when I think about people who try to write stuff
What do
as
you mean?
characters. So, for instance, let's say we decide we want to make a new character that's a gay woman hero,
Mhm.
but it's going to dress up like a man because that's where they
Mm-hmm.
prefer. So is it him, her thing? And that's where it becomes someone who read and go, yeah, that's me. And then another kid's like, no, I want to be known as a her. I don't want to be known as a him just because I dress this way.
Mhm.
Just like
Yeah, that's
your
where it get-
wife.
that's
your
where it gets
wife
fuzzy.
dresses more boyish than girlish. So
Mhm.
right away, because someone told me, I tried to be like, oh, it's the groom, and then you're like, no, she's the
She's
wife,
the bride.
and I'm
Yep.
bride, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I feel like I'm
Yeah.
always doing with you. I'm sorry.
Well,
But you're my niece, so you're more understanding. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, you're trying to do something.
well,
nice.
and I've been in that situation where like I've known somebody as a woman and
Right,
they change
right.
into a man, or vice versa,
Right,
or
right,
whatever,
right.
and then you have to get used to the different pronouns.
Right.
So then, like, you make your mistake and like, oh my god, I'm so
Right.
sorry, and then you change
But
it, and
that's
then you
what-
feel better, like,
Right.
or you don't feel better, but you like in the future you're gonna
I
make it
think
better.
it's the stranger that's the problem. And it's when it's
Yeah.
someone close to you, it's easy because then you'd be
Mhm.
like when you're like Uncle Nas, I get it. You're trying to be good. You're doing the right,
Right,
thing, but
right.
that's not how we are. Like
Right.
you know, and I go, like.
Right.
But if I was a stranger, even though you don't have that in you, you're too nice.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we have those
yeah.
people who get mad. Like, what are you doing? And that's the part that I get kind of like. It's hard, I think, to write stuff for characters. That's how I look for it. I mean, because again, I love strong women. I don't care if they're gay, straight, like, or this with the fairy godmother. That's the black gay man. Like, I could, okay, but I always think like, why do we have to replace or change someone already? Like, why can't we
Right.
make a new character for that?
Right.
And it's like, well, Cinderella. Like, why do we have to remake Cinderella a
There,
thousand
you know how
times?
many Cinderella stories there are?
I don't even know. I really don't.
Because they made one like a couple years ago too,
Right.
and then they had one from a million years ago. I remember watching it as a child, and
Right,
it
right,
was
right.
with I think Whoopi Goldberg is in
Right.
it, and like they have
It's
like
like,
that.
where does it stop? Like,
Right.
where does
and then they
we
have
to
like a
remake?
Cinderella story, and then another Cinderella story,
So,
and then
so
like
are we going to eventually have Cinderella as a black gay man?
I don't know.
Or a Latino.
And honestly,
gay
I don't think Cinderella's that great. Not gonna lie. So why are we keep remaking her?
Again, I don't mind when they recast somebody like they did the was it Black Ariel, and I love that. Like,
Right.
I was okay. Like,
Yeah.
Ariel doesn't have to be anything.
Mhm.
But I don't know how would I feel if it was a man, a just white man being Ariel. I'd be
Mhm.
like, okay. I don't know. And I don't want it because I really don't
Well,
care.
I just think we just need to not
Why don't we
remake
come
it.
up with a new story?
Right.
Like, are we? I just think there's too many smart people in this world who can write up comic books like I have never seen in my life,
Right.
and they can't make up a
Freaking
gay
princess.
character
Right.
or a princess that's
Right.
somebody like some other story.
Right.
See, you could do that with like a brand I'm just what was the last one? Was it Mulan? Was the last one they made?
Last live one.
No, like cartoon. Was it Mulan? No, what was the last Disney movie? Like cartoon, like princess. Wasn't Brave? I think it was Mulan. wanna say-
Mulan was a long time ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Am I that old?
Yeah.
Oh no, was it Brave?
I think it was
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel.
No, Frozen.
No, Frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say Frozen, but I
supposedly
don't.
she's supposed to be gay. I love that.
Is she?
If she's supposed
Good
to
for
be gay,
her.
I love that. Like
Yeah.
I love that. It's a new character, new thing. You can do whatever you want with her. That works. The next person, give me a next story, new
Right.
person.
Right.
It can be a man, could be a woman, whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, I feel like that should. Well, I want to talk about.
We'll go into that another day.
Yeah,
Too. Like
that's a good topic though.
Yeah.
That's a good topic because we can actually interview someone,
Right.
and you can actually talk about it because
Right.
you know what.
Right. We'll educate you.
Yeah, I need to be educated. No, I try. I mean, I try to be respectful.
No,
try to be
and I
respectful
love
of
that
everyone.
you ask questions because there are people out there who just assume and then they get mad because they didn't know the answer.
I have both genders of gay people in my life,
Mhm.
and there's no need to. I don't have hate. As long as
Right.
as long as I love them and they love me, that's all that
Right.
works.
I'm working on that. No, I'm kidding.
Alrighty, it is about that time. We will see you next week. What time? I know we're gonna do it next topic.
Are we gonna do the next topic?
Yeah, we'll
We have
probably
to.
do. We gotta do these 3 Star Wars. We just can't do one.
Oh my god. Maybe I'll watch him.
Yeah, right.
I almost watched it today and I was like,
I watched it.
no, I cannot sit down that long.
It's not that long.
No,
Yeah.
today I don't have the attention span.
Well,
So.
we'll probably do part 2. Well, it's actually part 5 another day. If not next weekend, another time.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
All right, guys. Have yourself a good night.
We'll see you next time.
And we are out. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube on Tuesdays and Sundays on Facebook on The Goofy Geek. And we appreciate you guys listening. And make sure you hit subscribe, the bell,
Like
like,
leave a comment.
do a little dance, make a little noise.
Do the hokey pokey, turn yourself
Make love
around.
tonight.
Okay. On that note. Bye.
Bye.